Welcome to Bitboy Crypto. My name is Ben. This is Carl. You may know him from the moon. No, not from landing on the moon, but for sending plenty of people there in the last bull run. Carl, we're here in Dubai. We're chilling. We're hanging out. Obviously, you got a massive office here. You got a similar operation to I do. You got a lot of employees. You do a lot of great stuff with crypto. You got cryptojobs.com, taking a look at up there, which is cool stuff. You guys are interested in getting a job in crypto. But what I want to talk to you about today is something pretty crazy. Bitcoin just went up. What do you think?
Yeah, that was a very, very good pump.
Yeah.
I must say that it's always a good day when Bitcoin's going up.
Yeah.
I think everyone watching is probably a Bitcoin holder. That's why you guys are following Ben. So we're all happy, right? I think that's great. The main reason for this pump, in my opinion, is just technical patterns. I told my audience about this falling wedge.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been looking at it as well. I think it's kind of impossible not to see that falling wedge. But also yesterday, I pointed out a small inverse head and shoulders on the 4-hour time frame. And if you just use technical analysis and flip the target, then you know, technical analysis, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news.
Yeah.
That's a very old saying.
It is.
And I live by that. I never trade news. I only trade technicals.
Yeah.
News to me is more like a longer term, for the industry kind of thing, not tradable.
Yeah. Well, I think when it comes to doing trading, God, my face is so close here. Look at this. Look how close I am. I think when it comes to doing trading, you certainly should not be trading off the news. However, I think there are spot positions that you can do some things with based on the direction that you think things are heading on based on the news.
But months, yes.
Yes,
but
not
investments.
Yeah, you're correct.
Or a
there.
very long swing trade.
Yeah, you should definitely not be day trading off of news. I agree with that 100%. I think the news is very important. I think it does, it sets the course for things. But I think that really that's I'm the fundamental analysis king and you're a technical analysis king. I think that's pretty much how it goes. And I think that watching those charts is something that, obviously is very, very important to people. And I want to, like you said, yesterday was an inverse head and shoulders and it kind of, showed this move was coming. What are your overall thoughts on where you think Bitcoin is going to in the next, 3 to 4, by the end of the year, let's say?
Okay, so right now we are in a uptrend.
Okay.
And I do believe that we're not going to go below 20K again. I think that
I agree.
there is a small risk we might go and close the gap at 20K.
20,300, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
However, I would put that at a chance of maybe 25% maximum. I think it's more likely that we keep going up from here and that 25K is going to act as a very very good support, which it did already.
Yeah, what's really man, I get so many good video ideas when I'm making videos. I think a good video idea for me would be to look at the last bear market as we were heading into more bullish action. What was the last gap that was not filled?
There is one.
Isn't there one like $9,000 or something?
Some very far down.
Yeah.
Maybe like 4,000 or 5,000.
There's one down there too. There's one down that low for sure.
Okay, yeah.
But I think there is another one, I think, that was like at about 9, maybe it's around 9. We'll have to take a look at it. But it'd be very interesting because, everybody says there was a time where it said 98% of these gaps fill. Well, it's not necessarily true anymore. The number's closer to 90% now. But the reality is, once the bull market hits, we're going to start touching off those top gaps and that number is going to grow. Because we filled almost all the ones on the bottom, but there's 3 or 4 that are still outstanding. All of them don't get filled. And the fact that we've now reversed and we've gone back up the other direction, and when it looked like we went down the 24s, like we were getting a chance where maybe it could happen, I tend to agree with you. I definitely think we bottomed for this market, but I also think that there could be another black swan similar to the pandemic that we we aren't seeing that could have one last crash.
This is true. I think there could be black swans. That's the only thing that throws all of what I said off the table. So on the gap theory, I would like to say that it's for sure it's not guaranteed, it's not bulletproof, but it is, however, the case that when you see a gap fill, it is very likely going to fill sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
That's something that's just generally the case.
It usually feel like that weekend, it'll be on the weekend and then Monday it'll fill. That happens a lot.
Yeah, that's very common, and that's kind of where it comes from. But then, you have to check what time frame and but so I think the longer it goes, without getting filled, I think it loses its significance.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I don't think you can find it.
And feelings are really important in crypto.
What I'm saying is like I don't think there's a textbook saying that that's the case. I'm just saying that from my own experience, when I've been trading for like 5 years now in crypto, this is what I think is the case. So the gap down at 2K, I think it's just not relevant anymore.
Right, I agree 100%.
It should have been filled.
Maybe when Bitcoin goes to zero.
I mean, if that happens, then all gaps fill.
All the gaps filled.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. I love it. Well, cool. Well, we're out here, obviously in Dubai. We're doing stuff with Bitcoin. I brought Carl's shirt. We got our Bitcoin merch. Been be everywhere now, as you guys know. Carl, what do you think is going to take for crypto adoption to happen?
What is going to take for crypto adoption to happen?
Can you see that on the charts?
No.
No.
I think it's going to take time. That's what it's going to take. It cannot happen overnight. They say Rome wasn't built in a day, and crypto's not gonna get mass adoption in a day. It's gonna take some time, and it takes all of us who are here now to not give up. It takes us all to build. People say crypto's the future. I agree. You agree. Everyone watching agrees. However, it's easy to say, but someone has to be on the front lines building the future. Someone has to be the bear market warriors like us. We're making content, we're building business, and then everyone out there is watching and engaging and hopefully using a service. For example, like cryptojobs.com.
Yeah, exactly.
That is something that people can use if they want to get a job in crypto, or if you have a company, you can post jobs there. So if you want to hire, by the way, then you can post jobs there.
Yeah.
I'll connect you to my team, and you can hire. It's the biggest crypto job board in the world right now.
Well, Carl, thank you for your application. Welcome to the team. Look, I think you're dead on here. I think that there's got to be somebody on the front lines fighting for all this. That's what we're out here doing with Bitcoin. We're out here fighting for crypto adoption, trying to make it happen. We're out here in Dubai. Dubai is very friendly for crypto. We need more of that around the world, and really excited to see what happens. And
where to get your glasses, bro?
Bro, they're 101.
Bro, let me try them.
All right, let's see what Carl looks like.
I need to try them.
Look at him. Whoa, look at Carl. Carl,
not bad.
Carl, for once you actually look good.
Bro, this is not bad. Not bad.
I try to tell. Look,
That's crazy.
people be trying to buy these off me all the time, man.
So
but I'm
these are
flexing.
gold or what?
Yeah, they're 24 karat gold. And you feel it, they're heavy. They're literally 24 karat gold around it.
Bro,
So
that is Dubai style right there.
I knew it would be,
You're
man.
already part of the Habibi gang.
Habibi gang, let's roll, man. So really excited to be out here in Dubai. We got a lot more stuff coming with Bitcoin, and a lot more things we're going to do, and trying to talk Carl into partnering with us. Yeah, you got cryptojobs.com. It makes perfect sense. So what's the one? Pump's got one too, doesn't he? Does Pump have a website for crypto jobs as well?
Pump.
Anthony Pompliano.
He has Pump crypto jobs, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to fight him?
No, I don't fight people.
Carl's a lover. He's not a fighter.
Yeah, I think
guys.
we're all in this together. But
Yeah.
if he wants to partner up, we can talk.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a real knockout. All right, Carl. Well, thanks for joining us. You guys can check out Carl's channel. Put it down in the description. And that's all we got. Be blessed.
Wait.
Whoa. We have a stop. Hard stop.
We have to stop.
What is it?
How we have to put a prediction here.
Prediction.
You know that I'm famous for my predictions, and I'm predicting 5,000 likes on this video.
Can you guys make it happen? Exactly as he predicted. 5,000 likes on this video. Let's get it. Be blessed. Good boy out.